Hi there, everyone. Welcome to Mystical Motherhood's podcast, episode number 3. I'm so excited you're still here on the journey to conscious motherhood. And I follow along with my book, Mystical Motherhood, as I do all of these episodes in all of my YouTube videos. And so I take women by the hand, I take them step by step through the process of conscious conception and birth and pregnancy and postpartum and into the early childhood years. So part of that process is becoming pregnant. And I want to speak to you today about enhancing your fertility through specific foods, through meditations, and the reasons why women have a problem becoming pregnant and the things that I see within my patients. So we'll go over those 4 things today together. I'm going to be reading parts from my book, Mystical Motherhood, directly from it. So you can actually, if you get the book, you can read along if you want to through all of these episodes, because it'll really take you by the hand and help you through this process if you don't have anyone available to do that. And sometimes it can be lonely. I mean, the clients I work with, I know how hard it is when you want something so bad. It is just the ache inside of your heart. It just pulls at you. And I feel that through them, and the frustration. A lot of it, it's a very spiritual process becoming pregnant. And if you haven't cleared yourself of these obstacles, internal obstacles, which we'll talk about too, it won't be as joyful or easy for some women. Not all, but some. So I want to first off start by saying if you're trying to become pregnant and you haven't been to the doctor yet, you should do that first. So, and if you have any funny symptoms, anything at all, anything in your history, make sure your doctor knows about that, because this may help to allow him or her to check specific labs for you that may be important. So have you had your period, or is it inconsistent? They may want to check prolactin levels. They may want to check your thyroid levels. And if you think you have a thyroid problem, there's some really good resources for that would be Aviva Ram and then Anthony Williams, which we'll talk more about today. But make sure that your whole body actually feels good, and make sure that matches the lab panels. A lot of the times I have clients that, they're having symptoms of a thyroid problem, but their labs aren't showing it. But labs aren't always as accurate as our actual emotional being. So trust yourself. Find a doctor that'll listen to you. If you need to go to a naturopath, I highly recommend doing that, so that you can feel like you're getting the help that you need and you deserve in order to become pregnant. So next off, I'm going to start by reading a couple paragraphs from my book, Mystical Motherhood, which is available on Amazon. I'm going to start on section 7, Enhancing Your Fertility. So if you're following along on YouTube or you're on the podcast, you can go ahead and read with me. And then I'll go into more details about this section afterwards. Fertility is a delicate subject, and like a flower, needs to be discussed with care, because when we want something so badly, and what we want does not come fast enough, there is an aching in our hearts that feels like we are being ripped open. When a woman is ready for a child, a gap grows in time and space, and the desire to hold the baby becomes the forefront of her thoughts. I have watched many friends battle with fertility issues, and months pass with empty arms, more longing, less control, and a stronger desire for the outcome. I have also witnessed the unbearable loss of children in utero through my patients, which becomes a heavy burden of confusion after months of attempting to become pregnant. If you are trying to become pregnant and you are frustrated by the process, I don't have all the answers here, as fertility is one of the greatest mysteries of our time. But I have simple theories that may shed light on the space you are feeling inside, and I am going to provide you with ways to better connect to your womb through meditations and the energetics of food. This was taken from section 7, page 60 of Mystical Motherhood. So, let's talk about a few things. In ancient times, women weren't on birth control, obviously, and they would have children immediately. It was just a known thing that's what they would do. But now we have obviously, we're so blessed. We have all these other options available. So we're often battling the masculine and feminine nature within us. And so a lot of the clients I work with and the friends I meet, they don't make space for having a baby. if you are trying to have a baby and you're very, very stressed at work and you have a really difficult schedule and you literally don't have space for self-care, whatever that looks like, meditation, yoga, coming in late to work, taking a day off, slowing down your life, it's going to hit you like a rock. And I mean, and you may have a problem becoming pregnant and not really understand why, because you're so in it. You're so in that stress level. Stress is a major cause of infertility. And diet is a major cause of infertility. I'll go into some specific foods you can eat later in this podcast and YouTube video, but you need to really look at, like, are you eating the right foods in the morning, or is your sugar level dropping during the day? Are you eating nutritiously? Are you, because all of those, like, it can affect your stress level and how your body perceives threats. So if your body's in a threat mode or a fight or flight mode from work or from, functioning as a human on this planet, then you will naturally not be able to receive something. So that's just something to think about, the need to make space in your life so that you can create something new within your body. According to Anthony Williams, who I highly recommend reading his book, Medical Medium, over the next 50 years, I think he said over the next 40 years, infertility rates will rise up to 50%. And there's lots of theories around why this may or may not happen. And we can see it, but it's really not talked about as much as it should be. And it's not really being prevented because the amount of toxins and the bad food we're eating, I think it's going to hit us really hard eventually, and we're going to have to make fast changes. So there's 4 specific toxins that he said are the worst for your body. He calls them, an evil 4, or it doesn't matter what he calls them, but it matters what their names are. The 4 are radiation, toxic heavy metals, viral explosion, which would mean the viruses, a high amount of viruses on Earth, and DDT. So again, radiation, toxic heavy metals, viruses, and DDT are the 4 things that you need to think about and avoid or get out of your system before you have a child that may be causing infertility problems with you. So you want to avoid fumes. You want to avoid paint. You want to avoid chemicals in all of your products. And I mean every product. Look at it. It's not worth it if you're trying to have a baby. You need to do a heavy metal detox, which I'll explain a little bit about later, and I've talked about in previous podcasts and previous YouTube videos. These are so important to clean your body down, and no doctor is going to come and tell you about these specific things. They're going to offer you medication or fertility treatments very fast because it's the fast way to do that. Another thing you need to think about, so beyond these chemicals and these heavy toxins in our environment, is we, as a culture, most females have been on birth control for a long, long period of time. So if you're on birth control for 15 years, you're telling your body for 15 years to not have a baby. So energetically, every single month, you're saying, I really hope I'm not pregnant. I really hope I'm not pregnant. Oh my God, am I pregnant? I really hope I'm not pregnant. And so your body literally says, oh, she doesn't want to be pregnant. And so your mind and your body split. Obviously, your mind listens to your body, or your body listens to your mind. Same, it's all in one. So when the time comes around, when you get off birth control, it's not surprising that your energetic system or your reproductive organs are saying, well, you turned me off. Why would I get pregnant right now? I mean, you were telling them for such a long period of time not to become pregnant. And in that period, you were also disconnecting from your womb. So I cannot tell you how important it is to actually tell your body that you're ready to get pregnant, and begin to energetically connect to your womb. So while you're walking, while you're in the bathtub, while you're just lying down. I mean, I'll go through the specifics of meditations you can do in just a little bit, but you need to start to think that you need to send loving energy to this part of your body and give yourself some, acknowledge that you told your body for a long time that you weren't ready, but you need to tell your body now you are. And so just start to turn on that system energetically, and so you can prepare your body. some specific, also before that, I also work with lots of clients all over who have issues such as PCOS, fibroids, all kinds of issues with their uterine, with their womb. And a lot of these issues are connected to creativity or lack of it, or they're connected to beyond eating the right foods or having the wrong diet, or, issues such as that. But there's also an energetics to it. So if you are having problems outside of your life, such as like with your relationships or with your job or with your friendships or with even your fear of becoming a mother, you need to work through these, because it almost allows an energetic space to, your body will open up, and all those different things you were clinging on to, or those different issues or subconscious patterns that may be preventing you from receiving this child, will release as you begin to look at yourself and your own internal patterns. So important. And in my book, Mystical Motherhood, it shows you how to do that through personality tests and through meditation, and how to do self-psychology. And I also help clients all over the world start to heal these issues that are I don't know why doctors don't talk about them. As a practitioner myself, it seems really, really important. Like, have you looked at why you're sick? Have you looked at the energetics of that? And you need to really think about that. I want to talk about some foods you can eat now. So get your pen and get your paper out, because you might want to write some of these down. One of the most important foods is fruit. To produce fruit, you need to eat fruit. According to Anthony Williams, one of the leading healers in the world, and Hay House multi-billion, he sold a lot of books, and he's healed millions of people all over the planet. And he says that fruit is the number one thing to eat if you're trying to become pregnant. And that in the future, they will find that fruit will make up the core of the medications that help women become pregnant, that they'll find it within fruits. Just trust that, because it doesn't hurt to eat fruits. Eat fruits and eat it as one of your main parts of your diet. And don't have that fear of sugar within the fruits as something that deters you away from it. If you're having a problem becoming pregnant for no identifiable reason, stop eating meat, because the animal's killed, and the cortisol level within the animal, which is the stress response, is within that food. So you're actually eating that animal's stress, and that's the only thing that'll be left over in your body in the end. And so I totally eliminate anything that's killed out of your diet, so that you don't take in that type of energy, nor do you take in all of those antibiotics or the high cortisol level of the animal when it's killed. So other specific fruits you can eat that are good for enhancing fertility are oranges, bananas, avocados, grapes, melons, mangoes, cucumbers, limes, and cherries. If you have any issues with endometriosis, PCOS, or uterine fibroids, you'd want to eat artichokes and kale, celery, butterleaf lettuce, garlic, potatoes, sprouts, raspberry leaf, and nettle leaf tea, and also raw honey. All of this is listed out in my book, Mystical Motherhood, and I'm just following along, and you can too as we read this. You want to eat eggplant, as it's one of the number one foods for women. Vitamin E oil is very, very important. It helps the fertilized egg stay attached to the uterus. So before you become pregnant, up until the time you become pregnant, eat 400 to 800 international units I use a day. And you can also drink red raspberry leaf tea to enhance the uterus. Don't eat any chocolate. It's actually a toxin, and it has a high level of caffeine. So you don't want to do that if you're wanting to become pregnant. Obviously, don't take illegal drugs. Don't drink alcohol. Stop smoking marijuana. Super important. Celery juice is amazing for clearing out the heavy metal toxins, and it also hydrates your body to a really, really high level, and it can heal your gut system. So in the morning, get out your juicer, put your celery in it, drink the celery juice. So easy, changes your life. I give it to clients all the time. They absolutely love it. All of these foods should be eaten by men too. They should also do the heavy metal detox. In the heavy metal detox, you can find that information in Medical Medium, the book by Anthony Williams. You can find that on Amazon, as with my book too. For the heavy metal detox, the things you want to add to your diet, I'm going to list them here, but he goes into more detail in his book. He says Hawaiian spirulina, frozen wild blueberries, cilantro, garlic, barley grass juice. Eat those as supplements, along with vitamin B12, ashwagandha, zinc, and red clover blossoms will help to get out the heavy metal toxins, which is really important for men too, because their sperm is affected by their diet and all their toxins. So you need to make sure that their diet is just as strong and nutritious as yours. Onions, ginger, and garlic are really, really good for men. Garlic is, it helps with the sperm consistency. Banyan tree oil, if you can find it. It's kind of a rare, banyan tree milk with ghee. Ghee is another thing. It's confined to be found in a natural food store. It really helps with the sperm. And obviously, if the male is smoking marijuana, or specifically marijuana can slow down the sperm, this is a yogic belief, but I would just cut it all out. If you're really wanting a baby, it's not worth to take all those chances. At least if you have a partner that's smoking marijuana or cigarettes and drinking a lot, at least before the time you conceive, like let's say, at least have him cut it out for like a week or two before that moment that you're hoping to conceive your child, if he will. But you definitely should for a really long time, because you really have to clean your body out. So here's some specific meditations that you can do to boost your fertility. In my book, it's on page 67. You can do the walking meditation. So while walking, tell your womb that you are 100% ready to conceive now, and you are fully behind your decision. Honor your reproductive system, not with demands, but with respect and guidance. So that means you do it all the time. Walking is, or you're sitting at your desk, do a sitting meditation, whatever you need to do, but you're constantly in engagement with your reproductive organs and the womb. And if you need to print a picture out of that area so you know what your ovaries, your fallopian tube, and your uterus and looks like, I highly recommend that you do that, so that you're like, oh, this is what my body looks like. These are the areas I'm thinking about, so that you begin to, manifest your child through your thoughts. Because if you understand how powerful your thoughts and your feelings are, you'll know how powerful that you can actually create this. The breathing white light meditation is one you can do while you're lying on your back. You take some deep breaths into this area and you call in the child. So with each inhale, you draw white light into your womb. And when you're doing this, you take the attention out of your head and you direct it to another part of your body, which is your uterus. Let your body know that it's now its sacred mission to become pregnant, and that you are fully ready and you are consciously preparing to bring a child into this world. It's like you need to remind your body that this is what you came here to do. You can also try ovary massage. So if you go in between the tip of your pelvis and, let me explain how to do this on a just bilaterally feel where your hip bone is and go up about 2 inches and you'll find your ovaries. And it's explained exactly in my book. And you can massage your ovaries for 2 minutes. In a bathtub, in the shower, while lying in bed, it's best to have some, massage oil or water to help with that area. And it will just help to open up the energy, open up the energy channels, open up your connection to that area. And some other things you want to try is acupuncture. I cannot tell you the results I've seen women that have with this, or Mayan belly massage, I believe it's called. Maya abdominal massage. Definitely try that. If you are open to it, you can try something called the green diet, which is an alkaline-based diet for a week, even if you're willing just to eat green food to get your body at an alkaline level. Trying the celery juice every single morning is one thing that can really help your body go to alkaline level. And the reason for this is that diseases don't live in alkaline level, and so you're just going to vibrate a higher level of health when you're eating green foods. And the green diet is eating all green foods. You can Google what that is. Another if you're having issues with your ovulation process or your periods, I have specific meditations in my book, Mystical Motherhood, that I highly recommend from the Kundalini Yoga heritage. If you are not having consistent menstrual cycles, you need to do the Kirtan Kriya. It's an 11-minute meditation. You can do that every single day religiously. Just try it. Can't hurt. Another one is called the Andaj Kriya. This isn't published, I don't think, as much. I've only seen it one place. But it helps to balance the ovaries in women. So if you're not ovulating the way you should, or if your ovulation's off, it should be done consistently to balance your ovaries. So that's all in my book, Mystical Motherhood, and so much more. We only went over one section today. Each section takes women step by step through the process of conscious conception, and that's my life goal, is to help you create and raise a conscious and enlightened child while also, feeling good yourself through the process. And like, I'm always talking about new and interesting ways that you can approach health on a spiritual, mental, and physical level. And you can find more about all of this on mysticalmotherhood.com. You can, if you like this, please give us a message, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and give us a shout out. Let me know what you're doing out there. You can email me questions. I will respond to them in all of my episodes. And you can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Amazon, obviously the book. You can Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. I look forward to seeing you in the future.